Revere Veterans and Community Show. Today I have the director of the Revere Veterans Service. His name is Nick Brewer. Nick, let me welcome you to the show.
Thank you, Morris.
Now, we were going to talk a lot about veterans things, but before we start off, you wanted to talk about Memorial Day, or let's continue with that.
Well, I just wanted to start the program. First of all, I want to start by thanking the Mayor's Office and the City Council for their support of all the veterans issues that come about. We've been very, very fortunate to have the support. I've talked to many veteran service officers in other communities, and they don't have the support like we have here in Revere. So I just wanted to say thank you to our mayor and city councilor because they've done a tremendous job throughout the years. And we wanted to start the program with flags for Memorial Day. I know Memorial Day is a long way off, and a lot of people aren't concerned about it at this time. But come May, everyone's calling the office and saying that they haven't had a flag on their father's, uncle's grave, and that they wish to have a flag. And we can take care of the flag as long as we know far enough in advance in order to put it on our list. What we need is, of course, the name of the cemetery, the section of the cemetery, and the grave number, and the veteran's name. And we will make sure that we will have a flag put on and that they receive the honor of having the flag on their grave. It's very impressive when you go to Holy Cross or you go to Woodlawn and see all the flags, and it shows how many men and women actually served in the military, and that are out there, and we honor them. And that's what our purpose is to honor all our veterans. So we wish to please provide us with the information as early as possible, and we'll make sure that a flag is installed prior to Memorial Day.
Right, Nick, and talking about flags, I had the honor of going out to Bourne National Cemetery, or Mass National Cemetery, and we put the flags on the graves too over there. There are 64,000 people buried in Bourne, veterans and their spouses, and we put a flag on each grave, and we have a tremendous crowd, and if people would like to volunteer to go there, they can either call you, which I believe you have the telephone number. Could you give it to the folks?
Well, I don't have the telephone number available, but I wish I did. And,
I mean, your office telephone.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going. The office number is 781-286-8119.
Right, and if people want to make a donation for the flags for Bourne, they can mail them right to you?
Right, yes, they can, and just mark down that it is for the flags at Bourne, and we take care of the city pays for the flags for the cemeteries here, and the state reimburses the city 75% for.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, they reimburse this. Actually, it's 100% for the flag. So the state basically pays for all the flags, and we do approximately 2,400 flags a year, and also the Paul Revere School. They required some 4x6 flags. 4x6 flags for Veterans Day, and they always have a great show. I'm sure you attended this year, and the kids. It's all about the children, and this is what we want to do: is educate the children about Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and just so that it's part of our history, and for everyone to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice. We see a lot of these guys, a lot of the shows, actually, the World War II shows around this time of the year. And, you know, we talk to these people probably every day, and you'll never know that they were 18, 17, 19, 20
You look
years
at it
old.
one.
And they were, you know, in combat. And it really is amazing that they really are the greatest generation. And we talk to people, we pass them on the street, we never know their history. And what we're trying to do is to get their history. And I was talking to Bob Dunbar and about doing a show and recording some of the life stories of our veterans who spent time in combat, or what they did in the military. And some of them are really remarkable men. Well, they did things that you say, wow, would I be able to do that? So I always say there's a very thin line between, you know, being a hero and not being a hero. So we're very, very fortunate that we have so many veterans here in our community, and to support all our activities. And we really, really wish to have this program started. And if Bob can start the program, and we'll have them tell the story, and then have a copy made, and hopefully the Historical Society will keep a copy in there for future generations
That would be good.
to find out about their parents or grandparents or great-grandparents or whatever.
Right.
So that's what the objective is in the future.
And still talking about flags, I got to say thank you, because you do give me flags when I need them here. When we have a veteran come on the show, we usually give him an American flag. Usually some of the restaurants around here donate gift certificates. If they do, we give it to them too. And if any restaurant out there would like to donate a certificate for a veteran, you can give it to Mr. Bua at Revere Veteran Service, or to Bob Dunbar at Revere TV, and we'll make sure that a veteran gets it and comes to your restaurant. Now, you wanted to talk something that you mentioned to me, which I had no knowledge about. It's called Memorial Square. So if you could explain that to the folks.
Yeah, most of us have gone around to drive around, and you'll see these poles with the names of veterans with the star. And this is to honor our veterans. And if you wish to have your father or your grandfather have a memorial pole in the area which they lived at, just provide me with a copy of the discharge, a copy of the death certificate, and we'll have a pole installed with their name and rank, and it'll be a remembrance of our veterans forever. We have quite a few in the city. Thank God for DPW, Ray Andriani. He goes around and he decorates the poles, the memorial squares, with a wreath and a couple of flags. So that's the DPW does that every year, and they do a tremendous job. And it's very, very time consuming, and a lot of work going up and down that ladder. So we got to say thank you to Ray and the rest of the guys at the DPW.
Right, and still keeping on the subject of flags, if I may, if people have desecrated flags, could you tell them what they could do with them?
Well, if someone has a torn, I imagine you're meaning a torn flag.
Right.
Okay. If someone has a torn flag
Or dirty flag even.
or soiled,
Right.
What we could do is we have 3 boxes located throughout the city. One is on the corner of Hyde Street and Broadway. The other is at the Doughboy on American Legion Highway, and the third is at the VFW in Beachmont. So if anybody has an old flag, please don't throw it in the trash. What we're going to do is we collect all these flags throughout the year, and we have the Boy Scouts participate with us, the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the Brownies, and they do a wonderful job helping us out. And also they have a little ceremony which they provide. Our group of Boy Scouts, they're very dedicated, and they do a wonderful job. So that's, if you do have a flag, please put it in one of the boxes, or you can bring it down to my office. We'd be happy to take it for you.
Right, and something I would like to mention we never discussed before we went on the air, because we like to ad-lib a lot of things. You do a lot for the Veterans of Revere, but you also have what is called a food bank. Would you just like to tell us a little about that, if I may?
Yes. We started about 2 years ago with the food bank for veterans and their spouses. We made arrangements with the Greater Boston Food Bank and to have food delivered here, and they help us out. The Sheriff's Department helps us out considerably, as well as we have a number of volunteers.
Could you use more volunteers?
Oh, can always use volunteers. We got some great volunteers, and what we do is we give the needy families it doesn't even have to be needy, but we try to keep it to a needy family, but we give it to any veteran, and approximately 25 pounds of food. We don't know what we're going to receive until the truck comes, shortly before the truck comes. But Donna, my wonderful Donna.
And she is a wonderful lady, Nick, one of the best I've met.
Donna Dreesen.
Yep.
She handles the whole project. She does all the work. I get all the acclimates.
Well, you deserve it, because she was the one that got Donna on the job.
Well, yeah, but Donna really does a tremendous job.
She does.
And the funny part is she loves doing it. And she really enjoys it. And her husband, Steve, he delivers food to shut-ins.
Right.
And he's driving all over the city, and he never gets compensated for any of his gas or anything. So
It's all volunteer?
it's all volunteer.
Fantastic. Thank you, Steve.
Does a wonderful job. They do. I can't say enough about Steve and Donna Dreesen.
You know, you mentioned Steve and Donna Dreesen. I like to thank a couple of people, but I don't want to leave anybody out on the food bank, so you can fill in the rest for me. But there's 2 people I do love to thank. One is a lady by the name of Pamela Anderson, who does so much for the City of Revere and for the veterans. So Pamela, if you're out there, thank you. The other one is Rick Labadini, who does a tremendous job. So Rick Labadini, if you're out there, thank you for what you do. Now, I know I left some people out, so you can name them.
Well, there's a number of people. I mean, you shouldn't have started that,
I'm
because
glad
now you're putting me on the spot. And,
well, if we missed anyone, just tell us who you are. We'll honor you.
I mean, we get Bill Reedy, Frank Sarro is always there, and I mean, the list goes on and on.
Right.
And you got me that. I didn't have to write down the names.
That's all right.
But I apologize to those people that are there every month and helping us out.
Right.
And as I said, Donna's the one who handles the whole operation.
Right. So to those people whose name I didn't mention is because I don't know your name, but I see you there, and thank you for what you do for us.
They do a tremendous job.
Okay. Now, we wanted to spend a little time, before we get into what we really wanted to talk about, which we are doing anyway, we're talking about Christmas coming up and toys for the family of veterans. Tell us a little about that.
Well, we try to get some toys, as many toys as we can for needy veteran families, and anyone who wishes to donate a toy. It has to be new in a box, or this way we could give it to a child that wouldn't expect it or wouldn't receive any. Last year there was a family that at the Thanksgiving the Thanksgiving dinner at the First Congregational Church, and they were so appreciative of being there to receive a dinner. Otherwise they wouldn't have had the dinner. And we got toys for their children, and
It's nice. I know little kids love them, Nick.
they were really nice. And I made a telephone call to Counselor Ira Novoselsky, and I says, Ira, I need some toys for these children. 2 days later, he brought a whole bunch of toys in. So, and we gave it to the family, and they were very, very happy to receive them. So that's what it's all about.
Right. If people want to drop off toys, they can drop them off at the address at your veteran.
Yes, the Veteran Services is located in the rear of the American Legion building, 249 Broadway. So we're in the rear, and we will accept any donations. We appreciate anything that you can do. We're here to take care of the veterans. That's the purpose of the office, and I just want to say thank you to anybody who does wish to donate any toys to the children.
Right, and they can also drop them off if they wish, right, at Revere TV.
Revere TV.
385 Broadway, Revere, room 203. And this is because Mr. Dunbar, the director of Revere TV, will allow the toys to be dropped off here. So Bob Dunbar, Bob Driscoll, and Rick Promise, thank you.
Yeah, they do a tremendous job.
And I would like to thank two other people. I know this you're not going to get in trouble with. Ira Novoselsky,
Yeah.
number one, and especially Al Terminello. And I have to tell you something. I think Al Terminello is the most honest man in the city of Revere, but I'm not going to tell you why, but he will know why when he hears this.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And I want to thank you, Al, and your lady, wife or friend, Rose. Thank you out there.
Yeah,
what you do for the vets.
They do an awful lot.
Right.
And they help us out whenever we ask them to, and they're cooking there at the
Barbecue?
concerts.
Yep.
The concerts.
I love the hamburgers when I was going.
So they do it, and that money goes towards scholarships.
Oh,
At the high school, so
that's good.
Yeah, no, Ira and Al do a wonderful job, and that we're very, very fortunate to have the both of them in our community.
That's fantastic on there,
Yeah.
Nick. And before we get into that, people don't know this out there, but I'm going to tell it, and it has nothing to do for you to get mad at me. You did two things that we never did in the city of Revere. You had the Purple Heart veterans that were honored here this year, which was never done in the city before, and you also had the veterans, all veterans who wanted to come to be honored, which was never done before, because you started it up over here, which was good. So I want to thank you for that, Nick. And this is on behalf of all the veterans in the city of Revere.
Well, I tell you something. We want to honor our veterans. Who's better? Who has taken the time to leave their families at a young age and go into the military? And like most of us, when I first went down to basic training, I said, "Oh."
Can I ask you how long ago that was?
Many years.
Okay, good answer.
He says, "What am I doing here?" And it was really the first time I was away from home. So anyway, that was me, and I'm sure every other veteran felt the same way. And it's a matter of doing, serving your country, and we do that. So why not show our appreciation, the city's appreciation, to say thank you? And the certificate ceremony that we had
That was nice. Thank
recently
you.
was the certificate was designed by Bill Chisholm, the commander of the American
Did a
Legion.
nice job.
He did a beautiful job.
Excellent, excellent job.
We are very, very happy to be associated with him, and we have a very, very good rapport with the American Legion, and he helped out tremendously. And the Purple Heart, what can you say? A Purple Heart recipient is a individual who was wounded in action.
Right.
And, we have so many of them in the city. Only about 20 people showed up. And, I know we have plenty more in the city. So on August 7th of next year, we wish to have another ceremony, and it'll be done each year to honor our Purple Heart recipients. So
And that'll be done next year, August 7th?
August 7th next year. So
Yeah, a month after my birthday.
Oh, that's good. Oh, we can celebrate your birthday 1 month later.
July 7th. Nick, we were going to discuss something, and I wanted to save it for the end because that's the best to do. You wanted to talk about military fraud. Could you elaborate on that a little for us, please?
Well, yes. There's a lot of companies and people who are out there to deceive our seniors. They're the ones that, and I just recently, well, actually Donna received a telephone call in the office, and she said that she had made a donation to a organization, and it and it was a sizable amount of money. I mean, it was in the thousands. And she got I mean, it was real fraud. The company, she mailed a check to a post office box, and never did she see the money again. So please, especially our seniors, I know you're doing it from the heart, but please, before you make any donation, please call the office, and so we could verify that they're a legitimate organization. It's so frustrating. We've had a company from Georgia who was up here collecting donations, and only 0.5% of the money went to veterans. So, we want 100% of the money to go to veterans. So please, before you do it, use your head first, and then you can give from the heart. Call our office at 781-286-8119, and we'll tell you whether they are a legitimate outfit to make a donation to.
Right, Nick. Two things I would like to say. Don't ever give them your social security number or anything out there, number one. Number two, do not give them a debit card number out there, number two. Number three, if it has a box number, it's probably not legit. And the other thing is, if you get a telephone call and it says data error or name unknown, do not donate any money. But the biggest scam that I found out is they will call you, they'll tell you they're from your city, to put the money in an envelope and leave it in the mailbox, and they will come by and pick it up.
Yeah.
That's a no-no. If you don't know who they are and you want to know who they are, another one to call is, I believe, the Better Business Bureau. They can help you.
Yes, they can help out also, yes.
Right. Now, Nick, I hate to say this. We got about 2.5 minutes left. You take 1.5 minutes to wrap it up and just leave me one.
Oh, you're going to put me on the spot.
Oh, that's all right. You could have 2 minutes then.
In the future, I would like to come on the show and maybe provide our audience with information for different types of programs, whether it be a service-connected disability, or if you're low income and for a VA pension. The difference, the compensation is for a wounded veteran. The a compensation is, a pension is for a needy veteran. So I'm going to have different programs, and we'll be discussing various issues just to try to get the word out about what our office actually does and what benefits the veteran is eligible for. So please call my office, 781-286-8119. You can speak to me or to Donna. Donna's a wonderful woman. She'll help you out.
Right, Nick. And first of all, let me say, you are a Vietnam veteran. Thank you for your service to begin with. And God bless you and take care of you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Okay? And God bless all our troops out there, and God bless our citizens of Revere, but most of all, our great country, the United States of America. And thank you all for listening. Until the next time, I hope we have another great guest like Mr. Nick Brewer, who's the Director of Revere Veteran Service. So again, Nick, thank you for your service, and take care of yourself.
Thank you.